Hi guys, my name is Aaron Foe. I'll be doing my presentation on Rigoberto González. So the first article I found is written by Daniel Martinez. Um, the article basically summarizes the story, kind of, but also talks about his writing style and some themes and some reminders that we should all remember. First, the writing style. Um, if you notice that at the beginning of each chapter, there's like a timestamp. The meaning for that is that he wants it to be like a 24-hour cycle where it's compressed and he can tell like all the emotions and events that are happening within that 24-hour cycle. It's also written in third person. This is to control the tone and rhythm, allowing us, the readers, to understand the strengths and weaknesses of the characters. Um, a theme that he talks about in his article is the American dream versus a low wage job trap. Um, this reminds us of people, they can succeed and achieve their American dream, but there's also stories of people who get trapped in these low wage jobs and just can't leave. Um, Another reminder that he tells us about is that long days, low wage, lack of security, and insurance is very common for these characters. So, for the second article, it was written by Liliana Windorf. She talks about these characterized parts, which is poverty, violence, and desolation. Um, she believes that the naming of the chapters, which like Fuego or Pistol Love or Tell Me Stories or even Fever, are related to these three characterized parts. I definitely do see poverty and violence because of the imagery throughout the novel, but for desolation, it was a little harder for me to see. Desolation meaning emptiness, but now that I thought about it a little bit more, I do see that in the characters because, meaning the characters are kind of just working, they have nothing else to look forward to in their life. So that basically tells me that they are kind of empty. And she goes on to talking about this younger versus older generation, specifically on women. The women working on the grapes with the men are very independent. They kind of know what they want, but there's this clash between this older and younger generation of Hispanic women, meaning that stereotypically, like the older generation, is very passive and submissive and just does what their husband tells or just listens and sits quietly in the corner when their husband is doing something. While the younger generation knows what they want, they're kind of more aggressive, I guess. Um, she also goes on to saying how language shows a low social economic status on the characters. I do see this because again, uh, we speak on how we want to be represented. So through the story, how the characters are speaking, I can see the way they talk. Uh, they don't have a high status. That they're talking from like a lower status point of view. But that was probably all the main parts from this article. So thank you very much for listening, guys, and I hope you got something from my presentation.